2024 Best Actress nominee Annette Bening stars in Being Julia. I did it, guys. This is the last one. That means I've done one film for every single acting nominee, even if the film was the same film that they're being nominated for, like it was for Lily Gladstone and for Sandra Hüller. Um, this film has audio description by ITFC and James O'Hare. And since I watched the last movie I just did was Mark Ruffalo being in 13 Going on 30, I'm like pretty certain this was the guy that did 13 Going on 30. Sounds exactly the same. Hopefully I'm not one of those people who's like, all British people sound the same to me, because I don't think I am. But if it's not him, it's shockingly close on both films. This is delightful. If you've never seen Being Julia before, this is exactly why Annette Bening deserves to have an Academy Award. The problem with that is that this is one of those years where she happened to be doing her best against Hilary Swank, also doing a fantastic performance. So she lost out to Hilary Swank in Million Dollar Baby. It's a really hard argument to... I mean, that's a hell of a performance. Also, we just need to stop giving Hilary Swank shitty movies to be in. She has 2 Oscars. I really don't know why we keep giving her the worst scripts in the world. But yeah, this is a fantastic film for Annette Bening. It's a fantastic vehicle for her. She does a British accent the entire time. She just somehow lands perfectly. So does Bruce Greenwood, which is interesting. In and of itself, I did not think he'd be capable of disappearing into a film like this, but he is. Yeah, so we also have Jeremy Irons is heavily featured in this film, playing her husband, who's also her producer. She plays a renowned stage actress who will not be trifled with, but may trifle with others. It's I mean, it's so amazing to watch this, to watch her play this actress who wants she wants more, but she doesn't really know what more is. She just wants more. It's almost like she's bored with everything. She's read too many plays and too many scripts, and now she imagines her life being fanciful. So her life sort of starts blending a little bit with the theatrical possibilities, and it's like she's never not acting. You know what I'm saying? She's always on all the time. And we see this in scenes that are directed very well, where the director will show us her telling something to somebody, and then a half hour later, she'll tell that exact same line to somebody else, and it make it seem equally believable. It's just it's so great. This is such a great performance. There's really not much more to say about this. If I'm being honest, this is probably the one reason why I can't truly sit here and say Annette Bening deserves to win for Naiad, because it's her career best performance. I think Being Julia might actually be her career best performance. Possibly. It feels like a film that is fully shaped around her and plays to all of her strengths. She's charming, charismatic, sexy. She's everything she needs to be in this role. Playful. I don't know. Any quality she's ever had from any other film seems to have been picked up and put into this film. My favorite role of hers is actually in The American President. Usually when people ask me what is your favorite film of all time, I usually say that, because that's the film I can watch whenever. It's actually stopped me sometimes back when we used to do channel surfing. I would just be like, oh, American President's on. And it just like would stop. It could be like 1 a.m. and stay until 3. It just didn't matter. It just was like, oh, this is on. Cool, I'm just going to sit here and watch this for a little bit. Just like 10 minutes. I watched the whole thing. All right, again. I don't know why. I just love that film. I just think it's a great film. And it's the one performance where I don't know who I'd kick out. I'd kick out somebody though and make sure she got an Oscar nomination for it. Um, just jettison somebody. Somebody's getting jettisoned. I don't care how good their performance is. That to me is my favorite Annette and my favorite film. So yeah, I'd be jettisoning people all over the place for American President. Um, but I also really love her in American Beauty, and arguably maybe that's the one she should have won for. If I could have, it was Hilary Swank's first nomination. It wasn't Annette Bening's, so that would have been the year that if I could swap them, I'd give the Oscar to Annette Bening for American Beauty, and then make Hillary wait till Million Dollar Baby. It's not like she's using those two Oscars. So she can be a one-time winner. Yep, I said it. Uh, if you disagree with me, write Hollywood and tell them to stop casting her in things that are totally ass. There we go. Have you seen The Good Mother? It's terrible. Um, she's she keeps getting these terrible movies. Anyway, um, like The Tenant and just I don't know. God, what find better things. She couldn't even that Netflix show that she did with from the producer of Friday Night Lights. That we spent like a whole season just watching them dreadfully floating through space. And finally they get to Mars and then Netflix is like, no, we don't want a second season. I'm like, that's when it's actually interesting, guys. They made it to Mars. That's the season everybody wants to see. They don't want to see the season of her floating through space. Like, it's a lot to ask of people. Um, yeah, so I don't know what's going on with her career, but she needs somebody needs to grab her and put her into something that doesn't suck. Annette Bening, on the other hand, is doing Naiad, and it's great, and she got an Oscar nomination for it. So if she wins, it's because she should have won before. Um, but check out Being Julia. British audio description is always interesting because I find myself sitting there wondering and being like, okay, so what does this really mean? And so, some of this I just know is just me being stupid. Like I should know what this means. It's like I know what a Nickelodeon is, but I just associate it with being the kids channel. There was a point where they came out of an arcade, and they obviously didn't come out of an arcade. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't come out of a video game arcade in the way that we typically use the term arcade. Um, so yeah, that was one of the things that I caught. I was just like, I don't know what they just came out of because I don't think she was in there playing pinball. um, maybe she was. I just don't think she was. Um, so that means something else altogether. It's sort of like, but then like it is British audio description, so you have to remember that certain things are um, I mean, that's to a UK audience. These are all British actors. There's one guy that's openly playing an American, and then Annette Bening is doing a British accent, so she counts as British. Anyway, it's pretty much just a British film. Um, so using British terms makes total sense in this film, and you know that fine, maybe that's an arcade, just sort of like when you hear Piccadilly Circus you're like, oh, a circus, not a circus, not the same thing. Okay, it doesn't mean the same thing to when you hear it in America, when you hear like, oh, let's go to the circus, and you're like, oh, I thought we weren't watching elephants in this and being trapped in this scenario anymore, but okay, fine, we'll go to the circus. Maybe there's trapeze artists or something. And then you go to Piccadilly Circus and you're like, oh, this is not what I expected at all. This is not a circus to me. Um, just weird translations like that. And it's funny how that always keeps me on my toes, listening to UK audio description versus American audio description. But it's done really well. And they always try to get in as much detail as possible. There's a scene where Annette, as Julia, is applying makeup that is done really nicely and makes sure to let us know that she doesn't cover her eyes and her mouth, her lips with this like white cream. So just things like that. Just it follows the attention to detail rather well, and I'm pretty impressed with it. So again, this is ITFC, and usually every time I hear this, it always sounds like something that was made 20 years ago. Which is about how old this movie is. This movie came out in 2005, so we're close to that. Or 2004. 2004. It was nominated in 2005. 2004, because the same year as Million Dollar Baby, which was 2004. So, yeah, check it out. If you haven't ever watched Being Julia, now's the time. Celebrate Annette Bening and her Oscar nomination by watching the last thing she was nominated for, Being Julia. Actually, that's a lie. She was nominated for The Kids Are All Right. The last thing she was nominated for that she had a shot at winning for Being Julia. Anyway, that's all. That's all I got. I'm gonna give Being Julia an A. That was an easy A. It's such a delightful film. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. Breezes by, just blows by, and it's not depressing. It's funny. It's cute. It's lighthearted, but it's also one of those films that just allows Annette Bening to do so much with her role. It's one of those films where, yeah, I think Jeremy Irons is a great actor. Sadly, he's just not really given anything to do here. Everybody is just sort of around Annette Bening. And they help to give her different lights in her prism. So thanks for watching. Please click that subscribe button. And I have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on X, Twitter, Instagram, MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org, and let you know what has audio description where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org. It'll let you know more about James O'Hara, maybe, and what else he's narrated. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the other side.